so beyond excited to have you, the greatest fans in all of motorsports, back to the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world. And we welcome you all tuning in live on FloRacing's live broadcast of the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world. At this time, please welcome the I-500 Board of Directors. These dedicated men and women have devoted their time and energy into making this event what it is today. They are located throughout the property, here at the track, but can surely hear your applause. Please welcome board members John Babcock, Ray Bell, Wes Jordan, and our Canadian liaisons Ryan Kostanowitz and Brett Cohn. Please welcome the Secretary of the I-500, Mrs. Nancy Andre. Also, please welcome the Treasurer of the I-500, Mr. Dave Thomas. And also a special welcome for our co-chairs of the I-500, Miss Carrie Bradley and Mr. Dan Burrow. Last but not least, the superglue that holds the entire I-500 race project together. Please welcome, if you would, the Chairman of the Board, Mr. Rick Federow. At this time, the I-500 Board of Directors would like to welcome several special dignitaries, we'll get that right, who have taken time out of their busy schedules to be with us this morning and throughout the afternoon. First and foremost, our first guest is also one of our newest major marketing partners with the I-500. This partnership would not have been made possible without the creation of the Sioux I-500 Pure Michigan Summer Tour. The Sioux I-500 visited short tracks throughout the state of Michigan during the summer months of 2023, and as well as last year in 2024, and it will continue into the upcoming 2025 racing season during the summer months. It was at that very first event at Birch Run Speedway on June 1st, 2023, when the chairman of the board of the I-500, Rick Federow, met Mr. Rex Wheeler, the owner, president, and CEO of Owasso Speedway, as well as his highly successful business, Wheeler Trucking. From there, a business relationship, but more importantly, a friendship was born. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the title and presenting marketing partner of the I-500 project from New Lothrop, Michigan, Mr. Rex Wheeler. We'd also like to welcome our brand new marketing partners. First and foremost, Nice Motorsports, which is owned by United States Marine Corps veteran Al Nice. In 2025, Nice Motorsports enters its 10th season in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and also owns Nice Equipment, which for over 40 years has provided clients with reliable products at competitive prices. Nice Equipment's reputation is built on service, integrity, and dependability. The company provides water and fuel lube trucks that are engineered with quality and durability in mind for the construction and mining industry, and they have provided with us a water truck here for us throughout the course of the track building process here at the I-500 racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, would you be so kind, please welcome Mr. Al Nice. This year, Nice Motorsports and Precision Vehicle Logistics has partnered with the Hoos Racing Team, which fields the number 67 Polaris for riders Jordan Carlson, LJ Quick, and Dustin Furak. Hoos Racing has competed in this event for over 25 years, most notably winning the 2004 I-500. At this time, please welcome Nice Motorsports NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series drivers Caden Honeycutt and Bailey Curry. Both are here today and will interact with fans through an autograph session later on this morning and into the afternoon. From asphalt to dirt and now to snow, as part of the crossover between the various motorsports disciplines, Nice Motorsports number 4 Dirt Late model will pace the field of riders with a vehicle specially outfitted with studded tires fit to make exhibition laps around this 1 mile ice oval. You may have saw him Thursday night during the Meyer Pro Shootout. Primary partners, Precision Vehicle Logistics, DQS Solutions and Safety Staffing, Massdow Technologies, Wheeler Trucking, and Owasso Speedway. All these companies based right here in the great state of Michigan. look forward to supporting this event for the first. They look forward to supporting this event for the first time in conjunction with Hoos Racing. At this time, please welcome the Vice President of Precision Vehicle Logistics, Mr. Jason Wilson. We'd also like to thank all the legislators from the capital city of Lansing, as well as all the senators and House representatives from right here in Eastern Upper Peninsula, as well as here in Chippewa County. Please welcome Senator John DeMoose, as well as wife Margot DeMoose. Also Representative Brian Begole, Representative Timothy Besson, Representative Tom Coons, Representative John Roth, Representative Ken Borton, Representative Cam Cavett, Representative Parker Fairbarn, Representative Davis Preston, Representative Carl Bonnick, Representative Greg Markanen, Dakota Baker, Lauren Pauly, as well as Kelly Wolgamott, Vice President of Pure Michigan and Executive Director of the Sioux Convention and Visitors Bureau, Mrs. Linda Hoth. Please, a round of applause for our state and local representatives. As we direct your attention to the famed I-500 bridge located at the entrance to Turn 1, please welcome our newly crowned 2025 Miss I-500 Pageant Queen. She's actually right down here on the racetrack. From nearby Gatesville, Michigan, she's 18 years old. Please welcome the 2025 Miss I-500 Pageant Queen, Rianne Rowe. Also, please welcome Miss Rose Court from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. She's 20 years old, Miss Brianna Woodruff. Additionally, also from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, she's 16 years old. Please welcome Shelby McCoy. Lastly, from nearby Rudyard, Michigan, she's also 16 years old. Please welcome Miss Emily Purcell. And last but certainly not least, our junior Miss Queen. She is 15 years old from Brimley, Michigan, Miss Genesis Kemp and her court. Time. Owasso Speedway presents the 56th running International 500 Snowmobile Race Week powered by Wheeler Trucking. Started this past Sunday, January 26th, with Wall Service Solutions Mini 5 Kids Snowmobile Races. Congratulations to our feature winners on Sunday. In the Super Mod 120s, Carson Furak. In the Mod 120s, Amelia Hart. In the Stock 120s, Marley Furak. And in the Kitty Cats, Brianna Bardo. Also, congratulations on Tuesday, January 28th, to all of our winners of the Reefer Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout, which included Chaz Major, who won in 2 different divisions, Ryan Wolf, who won a feature as well as set 2 brand new track records. Also, James Von Borg was a winner as well. And we congratulate all of our Sioux Vintage Shootout winners. Also on Wednesday, January 29th, congratulations to our Kokosing Alberici Trailer Old 600 Modified Shootout winner for the 2nd year in a row. He swept the program, a new track record, a qualifier heat race win, and a feature win. Congratulations to Pitt County, Michigan's Andy Shoemaker on winning the Kokosing Alberici Trailer Old 600 Modified Shootout. And last but certainly not least, 2 nights ago, Meyer Pro Shootout 4. One of the most dramatic finishes we have seen here at the I-500 racetrack. Congratulations to Traverse City, Michigan's Tyler Town on winning Meyer Pro Shootout 4 in a thrilling last lap pass over Cedarville, Michigan's James Hicks. Before we introduce the starting lineup, the following teams either withdrew their entry or did not qualify for the event, but they deserve their accolades and a round of applause. The number 25 Nelson Racing Team, the number 27 R&R Racing Team, the 35 Team Torture Racing, the 45 World Class Racing, the 51 Mickey's Factory Racing, 53 Team Torture Racing, 55 Furky Racing, 97 Jay's Power Center Racing, and the 132 Pichet Racing. Those teams either withdrew their entry or did not qualify for this event. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for Owasso Speedway presents the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race powered by Wheeler Trucking. Starting in the 36th position, aboard the number 52, Roy Electric Polaris for Ironman Racing. Your starting rider, 44 years old, from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Please welcome James Kay. Also on the team, 29 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Tyler Kay. Also, 24 years old from Brindley, Michigan, Matt McGuire. And last but not least, 45 years old from Merritt, Michigan, Richie Sutherland. Starting inside of row number 18 in the 35th position, aboard the number 50, Northern Crankshafts Arctic Cat for Northern Crankshafts Racing. Your starting rider, 45 years old from Zimmerman, Minnesota. Please welcome Eric Rowland. Also on the team, 28 years old from Camden, New York, Matt Cameron. And last but not least, 39 years old from Oswego, New York, Ken Murphy. Starting in the 34th position, aboard the number 26, Maciag Sawmill Arctic Cat for KMW Racing. Your starting rider, 53 years old from Gatesville, Michigan. Please welcome Scott Maciag. Also on the sled, the youngest rider in the field, 18 years old from Gatesville, Michigan, Cale Maciag. Also on the sled, 22 years old from Alpena, Michigan, Matthew Hoos. And last but certainly not least, 52 years old from Alpena, Michigan, Matt Hoos. Starting in the 33rd position, aboard the number 88, Dean Marina Excavating, Polaris for McCoy Racing. Your starting rider, 33 years old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Please welcome Kyle Mailport. Also on the team, 29 years old from Middleville, Michigan, Trevor McCoy. And last but not least, 31 years old from Daphne, Michigan, Colton Loxonen. Thank you. Starting in the 32nd position, aboard the number 8, Alta Equipment Company Polaris for Cobus Racing. 49, your starting rider, 49 years old from Slidell, Louisiana. Welcome, Derek Cobus. Also on the team, 29 years old from Brindley, Michigan, Ryan Dulski. And last but not least, 44 years old from Remus, Michigan, Michael Haynes. Starting in the 31st position, aboard the number 75, KS & Company Exteriors Polaris for Schwartz Racing. Your starting rider, 39 years old from Goulet River, Ontario, Canada. Please welcome Nathan Joseph. Also on the team, 41 years old from across the bridge in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, Ken Schwartz. And last but not least, 39 years old from Thessalon, Ontario, Canada, Tyler Fullerton. We now move into the top 30. Starting in the 30th position, aboard the number 33, Big State Mechanical Polaris for Team Alaska Racing. Your starting rider, 56 years old from Wasilla, Alaska, former two-time I-500 race winner, Bill Wilkes. Also joining him on that sled, 38 years old, also from Wasilla, Alaska. Please welcome Robbie Shackle. And last but not least, the 47-year-old, also from Wasilla, Alaska, Ryan Sotosani. Starting in the 29th position, 12, Countryside Sales and Service Polaris for Country Motorsports. 9 years old from Cass City, Michigan. Please welcome Eric Churchill. Also on the sled, 34 years old from Unionville, Michigan, Vermash. And last but not least, the 34-year-old from Midland, Michigan, Andrew Terrell. Just shove it in there. Cram it in there. Starting in the 28th position, aboard the number 54, Polaris Racing Polaris for Team Heritage Racing. Your starting rider, 35 years old from Roseau, Minnesota. Please welcome Alex Hatteen. Also on that sled, 21 years old from Roseau, Minnesota, Evan Peppel. Also, the 21-year-old from Hanover, Minnesota, Paul Brown. And last but not least, the 33-year-old from Lakeshore, Minnesota, Vince Van Slyke. Starting in the 27th position, aboard the number 79, Northern Services and Cleanup Arctic Cat for Ritchie Racing. Your starting rider, 29 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Please welcome Jake Ritchie. Also on the sled, 35 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, Kyle Breckenridge. Also, the 25-year-old from right here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Dakota Kay. And last but not least, the 55-year-old from Richard Landing, Ontario, Canada, Richie Jr. Starting in the 26th position, making their first career appearance here at the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world, the number 16 XLT Engineering Polaris for Stevenson Racing. Your starting rider, 23 years old from Auburn, Michigan. Please welcome Preston DeShano. Also on that sled, 46 years old from Midland, Michigan, Chris Holly. Starting in the 25th position, aboard the number 4, ARM Asphalt Repair Maintenance Polaris from Michael Weinberger Motorsports. Your starting rider, 39 years old from Bay City, Michigan. Please welcome Michael Weinberger. Also on that sled, 29 years old from Belding, Michigan, Bryce Pretzel. And last but not least, the 24-year-old from Birch Run, Michigan, Trent Sorum. Starting in the 24th position, aboard the number 77, Hunt Tree Farm Polaris for Brownlee Boys Racing. Your starting rider, 29 years old from Powers, Michigan. Please welcome Josh Mapes. Also on that sled, 32 years old from Brookings, South Dakota. Please welcome Adam Longton. Also on that sled, 31 years old from Watertown, South Dakota, Travis Longton. And the oldest rider in the field, 9 years old from Fenton, Michigan, Rob Brownlee. Starting in the 23rd position, the number 02, Jay's Power Center for Jay's Power Center Racing. Your starting rider, 38 years old from Reedsburg, Wisconsin. Please welcome Jay Middlestat. Also on that sled, former I-500 race winner, the 33-year-old from Anoka, Minnesota, Bobby Meddy. And also on that sled, 34 years old from Fairbanks, Alaska, Troy Conlon. So, we got time. Starting in the 22nd position, aboard the number 48, Greaves Body Shop Polaris for K&E Racing. Your starting rider, 24 years old from Gatesville, Michigan. Please welcome Trevor Warner. Also on that sled, 21 years old from Gatesville, Michigan, Wade Warner. And last but not least, 21 years old from Swartz Creek, Michigan. Please welcome Cam Spencer. Starting in the 21st position, Aboard the number 44, Vermash Brothers Farms Polaris for WV Performance Racing. Your starting rider, 43 years old from Unionville, Michigan. Please welcome Kevin Vermash. Also on that sled, 31 years old from Unionville, Michigan, Keith Forth. Third rider on that sled, 21 years old from Fremont, Wisconsin, Luke Van Lysel. And last but not least, 50-year-old rider from Unionville, Michigan, Brent Vermash. We now move into the top 20. Starting in the 20th position. Aboard the number 10, Grateful Meds Polaris for Let's Go Racing. Your starting rider, Wednesday night's winner, the Cozy Alberici Trailer 0600 Modified Shootout. The 32-year-old from Peconic, Michigan. Welcome, Andy Shoemaker. Also on that sled, 32 years old from Oscoda, Michigan, Jake Giroux. Also on that sled, 38 years old from nearby Cedarville, Michigan, John Booth. And last but not least, the 21-year-old from Rankin Inlet, Nunavut. Please welcome Reagan Nyakrook. Starting in the 19th position, former I-500 race winning team. Aboard the number 32, Arctic Cat Racing, Arctic Cat for HC Racing. Your starting rider, 28 years old from Eagle River, Wisconsin. Please welcome Zach Herfindahl. Also on that sled, 26 years old from Browerville, Minnesota, Ryan Trout. Starting in the 18th position, aboard the number 23, Arctic Cat Racing, Arctic Cat for Lungus Racing. Your starting rider, 29 years old from Thief River Falls, Minnesota. Please welcome Ben Lungus. And his partner, 21 years old also from Thief River Falls, Minnesota. Please welcome Abe Olson. Starting in the 17th position, aboard the number 17, Nelson Speed Shop Arctic Cat for RNS Racing. Your starting rider, 29 years old from Hubbardston, Michigan. Please welcome Gardner Cusack. Also on that sled, 34 years old from Breckenridge, Michigan, Hayden Knightsky. And last but not least, 28 years old from Bagley, Minnesota. Please welcome Kyle Grover. Starting in the 16th position, aboard the number 2, Butler Excavating Ski-Doo for Town Brothers Racing. The lone Ski-Doo in the field. Your starting rider, 33 years old from Traverse City, Michigan. Welcome, Matt Town. Also on the sled, 31 years old from Traverse City, Michigan. His brother, Steven Town. And last but not least, 18 years old from Thief River Falls, Minnesota. Welcome, Jesse Hallstrom. Starting in the 15th position, your 2022 I-500 race winning team. The number 28, Polaris Racing Polaris for Nelson Racing. Your starting rider, 48 years old from Scandia, Minnesota. Welcome, Justin Tate. And alongside him, the 1-year-old from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Please welcome Marshall Bussey. Starting in the 14th position, aboard the number 62, RCI Ritter Construction Polaris for RCI Racing. Your starting rider, 30-year-old from Garfield, Minnesota. Welcome, Orion Bozak. Also on the sled, 31 years old from Traverse City, Michigan. Please welcome Kyle Richter. And last but not least, 21 years old from Garfield, Minnesota. Please welcome Anakin Bozak. Stuff this in my ear if you shove it in my eardrum. I know. Starting in the 13th position, aboard the number 99, Arctic Cat Racing, Arctic Cat for Bouchard Racing. Your starting rider, 32 years old from Monoman, Minnesota. Please welcome Dylan Stevens. Also on the sled, 49 years old from Thief River Falls, Minnesota, Chad Leon. Third rider on the sled, 26 years old from Bemidji, Minnesota, Matt Field. And last but not least, the 23-year-old from Wasilla, Alaska. Please welcome Hayden Reed. Starting in the 12th position, aboard the number 34, Northern Michigan Land Brokers Polaris for Kovar Pike Racing. Your starting rider, 38 years old from Newberry, Michigan. Please welcome Danny Mackey. And his partner, Thursday night's Meyer Pro Shootout feature winner, the 28-year-old from Traverse City, Michigan. Please welcome Tyler Town. Starting in the 11th position, aboard the number 67, Precision Vehicle Logistics, East Motorsports Polaris for Hoos Racing. Your starting rider, 28 years old from Manistique, Michigan. Please welcome Jordan Carlson. Also on the sled, 34 years old from Alpena, Michigan. Please welcome L.J. Quick. And last but not least, one of our feature winners Tuesday, the Reaver Peterbilt Sioux Vintage Shootout, the 39-year-old from Hessel, Michigan. Please welcome Dustin Furak. We now move into the coveted top 10. Starting outside on row number 5, in position number 10. Aboard the number 41, Prestige Steel and Supply Polaris for World Class Racing. Your starting rider, 29-year-old rider from Tawas City, Michigan, a regular in the Reveal the Hammer Outlaw Super Late Model Series. Please welcome Stephen Ullman. Also on the sled, 20 years old from Tawas City, Michigan. Please welcome Sawyer Ullman. And to complete the trio of Ullman brothers, the 24-year-old from Tawas City, Michigan, Scotty Ullman. Starting in the 9th position, your 2023 I-500 Snowmobile race winning team. The number 19, Tommy Bauer Escavini Polaris or Tommy Bauer Racing. Your starting rider, 46 years old from Alpena, Michigan. Please welcome Tyler Nichols. Also on the sled, 25 years old from Hubbard Lake, Michigan. Please welcome Luke Krantz. Third rider on the sled, 31 years old from Farwell, Michigan, Cody Bauer. And last but not least, 28 years old from across the bridge in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, Ryan McCaig. Starting in the 8th position, aboard the number 20, R&R Farms Polaris for R&R Racing. Your starting rider, 31 years old from Bay City, Michigan. Please welcome Adam Wheeler. Also on the sled, 52 years old from Unionville, Michigan, Rodney Bell. And last but not least, a 37-year-old from Bay City, Michigan. Please welcome John Giffel. Starting in the 7th position, inside of row number 4. Aboard the number 9, Fly Polaris. Your starting rider, 3 years old from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Please welcome Joey Birch. Also on the sled, 29 years old from Michigan, Nick Wickerham. Last but not least, a 25-year-old from Walker, Minnesota, Brandon Walter. Starting in the 6th position, aboard the number 13, Albert He and Cooley Polaris for Pichet Racing. Your starting rider, 24 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Please welcome Colin Henderson. Also on the sled, 25 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Drake McCullough. As well as a 36-year-old from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Aaron Celestino. And the 19-year-old from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Jack Henderson. We move into the top 5. Starting in the 5th position, aboard the number 24, Advanced Installation Systems Polaris for No 49 years old from Maple City, Michigan. Welcome Billy Ski. Also on the sled, 25 years old from Morley, Michigan, Dakota Harris. Starting in the 4th position, Aboard the number 18, Polaris Racing Polaris for Nelson Racing. Your starting rider, 33 years old from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Please welcome Dan Revering. And riding with him, his older brother, 34 years old from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, Charlie Revering. Starting inside of row number 2, your 9-time and defending I-500 Snowmobile race winners. The number 74, Polaris Racing Polaris for Bunky Racing. Your starting rider, 43 years old from Miniskow, Alberta, Canada, Aaron Christensen. Also on the sled, 29 years old from Kindred, North Dakota, Taylor Bunky. And last but not least, a 21-year-old from Roseville, Minnesota, Bo Bunky. We now move to the front row. Starting outside of row number 1, a former 3-time winning snowmobile team, the number 21 Woody's Racing Products Hard to Cat for Cataract Collision Racing. Your starting rider, 55 years old from Augrey, Michigan, Troy Dewald. Alongside him, the 49-year-old from Flushing, Michigan, Ryan Spencer. Also on the sled, the 29-year-old from Gonvick, Minnesota, Gunnar Arlo. And finally, the 32-year-old from Hubbard Lake, Michigan, Austin Leake. And starting on the pole, your pole-sitting team, the number 57, Felsky Farms Polaris from Factory Racing. Your starting rider, 23 years old from Augrey, Michigan. Please welcome Zach Dewald. Also on that sled, your Parker Ace Hardware Sioux I-500 Pole Award winner, 40 years old from Cedarville, Michigan, James Hicks. And last but not least, 7 years old from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Larry Young Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting field. Please give them a nice round of applause for the Washoe Speedway presents the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race powered by Wheeler Trucking. At this time, we'd like to introduce the official race starter of the 56th running of the I-500. Chief Brian James Rader, born on August 18, 1961, has 25 years of service and currently resides in Pickford, Michigan. Retired Chief Petty Officer Brian is married to Melanie, has 3 daughters, Cassandra, Allison, and Mary. He has 3 grandkids, Anthony and Amelia, who's celebrating her 2nd birthday today, as well as Valley Nanyan. He enjoys spending time with his family, tinkering in the garage, watching snowmobile and stock car races. He also enjoys camping. Please, if you would, a nice round of applause for our official race starter, Chief Brian James Rader. What's that?
Danielle wants to do the anthem a little closer.
Yep, definitely. Take the other one off too. I'm skipping things. I know we're running behind. At this time, all of us in the I-500 would like to take a moment to remember 2 gentlemen who we have lost over the past year. This was too good not to share, so I'm just going to read this word verbatim from Scott LaCourciere. The real reason and story behind our dedication to generational volunteerism started with my dad, Ralph LaCourciere. He was one of the original members to break ground on this 1-mile oval up until last year on January 11th, 2024, when he was called home. He was at every race for the last 54 years. My brother Stephen and I grew up helping Dad at the racetrack and have been volunteering for at least the last 43 years, and my brother for the last 47. I have worked my way up from water crew to tow truck operator to North Turn race official, and now for the last 20-plus years, my title has been assistant race director. All that time, Dad has been there guiding us and passing on his knowledge. He sat in race control for the past 20-plus years. My son Austin started as I did and worked his way up, and I'm very proud he is now our South Turn race official. My brother's sons are also volunteers, as is my cousin and his family. This race and track is not something that we just casually put time into every year. It's been ingrained into our soul from our parents, Ralph and Joanne. We used to get the water for the track from way up at the compound on the top of the hill. My dad would sleep in the press center while we watered in case one of the trucks needed to be pulled up the hill by him with the loader. Oh, the stories we could tell. This race has advanced in ways most people could never even realize unless they started back in the 1970s, as my brother and I did. But more importantly, I believe this race is a testament to the international community, that it takes hundreds of volunteers every year, all year, to make it succeed. This year's race will be dedicated to 2 volunteers that were here from us from day one. Ralph Corsier and Walter Brosco, whose family has been involved as long as mine has. It just shows that this race is always and will continue to advance with the times. But the one thing that will never change is the dedication in the heart that has been passed from generation to generation. I will always miss and cherish the times I've had with my dad at this track. But watering it for the first time with my mom, just not long ago, alleviated some of the grief knowing that he is and always will be watching over all of us at the monster mile we call the I-500. Thank you, Scott. I couldn't change that. I had to go word for word. We also dedicate this race today to the late Walter Brosco. Walt began volunteering here at the track in the fall of 1968 during track construction. Due to his knowledge of engines and mechanics, he was asked to work in technical inspecting for the first race and did so utilizing the bunkers in the tech building. Also during the first race, he began a family tradition as he had with his wife Nancy, 5-year-old daughter Cheryl, and 1-year-old son Steve, all at the racetrack. Nancy also made all the flags used around the track and pace sleds for the first I-500. Family was very important to Walt, and in 1972, his daughter Cheryl began volunteering, and in 1974, his son Steve became the tech runner for the next 34 years. They worked together inspecting sleds. In 2003, he brought granddaughter Emily to work in the tech inspection building, making 3 generations of his family working in the tech building. Walt served as tech director, as a board member, and served in the rules committee. After the 2008 race and 40 years in tech inspection, Walt retired from the I-500 with 5,345 sleds inspected. Walt passed away back on February 9th of 2024, 55 years from the date of the very first I-500. At this time, all of us with representation of the I-500 Board of Directors, Senior Management Staff, and volunteers ask you to please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your headgear, with the exception of veterans who do not need to do so, and encouraged to honor our beloved country via the military salute. As we are honored, we request a moment of silence to honor the dedicated volunteers that are no longer with us. Thank you. At this time, we ask you to please rise for the invocation, the singing of both the Canadian National Anthem and our Star-Spangled Banner. As the Presbytery of Mackinac, based in Petroski, Michigan, and the governing body and professional offices for over 40 churches located in northern and lower Michigan, as well as here in the Upper Peninsula of our beloved Great Lakes State. Reverend Brenda Eagle Ransom will now give her invocation.
Heavenly Father, we pray this day as the sun shines upon us that you would grant us safety for all the drivers, the volunteers, the pit crews, and all who are with us in this race. We remember the legacy of those that have started it and left this for us to continue on. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of both the Canadian National Anthem and the Star-Spangled Banner. For the Canadian Anthem, we ask you to direct your attention to the famed Turn 1 Bridge. For the Star-Spangled Banner, we ask you to direct your attention to the north end of the property towards the Lock City Home Center's Press Center. Singing both anthems while honoring both our neighbors to the north as well as our beloved country and our very own lifetime Miss I-500 pageant queen from Kinross, Michigan, Miss Danielle Patingolo.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, sing, can you sing early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets had glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, behold the MH-60T Jayhawk, medium range recovery helicopter powered by two General Electric T700GA 401C engines, capable of producing over 19 shaft horsepower, 90 shaft horsepower, maximum speed of 180 knots, 207 miles per hour. The MH-60T Jayhawk helicopter today is commanded by Lieutenant Steve Durfee and Lieutenant Dan Taglianetti. The flight mechanic on board today is Petty Officer Justin Nickel. The rescue swimmer is Petty Officer Andrew Turner. Please, if you will, a nice round of applause for the Coast Guard helicopter, the Jayhawk MH-60T. Teams will get final instructions. They will get the final commands, the final words, the final prayers from their crew chiefs and their spotters and their teams before we get going with the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world. We welcome you to Owasso Speedway presents the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race powered by Wheeler Trucking. And oh, by the way, our flyover from the Canadian side, from Sioux College, has provided professional training for over 50 years. The lead aircraft is Lin 240 responsive aircraft used in military primary training worldwide. The second is one of the 7 new models introduced to Sioux College, upgrades the fleet, a technologically advanced Cirrus SR-20. And the final aircraft is a new twin-engine Piper Seminole, the most popular multi-engine trainer in North America. Please, a round of applause for our United States Coast Guard and Sioux College for our flyovers. Once again, final preparations being made before we give the command for the most famous words in motorsports, as we'll make our way across the famed Turn 1 bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please, a round of applause for our hard-working, dedicated volunteers who have made the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race possible. Ladies and gentlemen, A round of applause for our entire volunteer staff here at the I-500 racetrack in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. How about the U.S. Coast Guard helicopter one more time? Give them a round of applause. At this time, we'd like to introduce to you the JFL Environmental Broadcast Team that will be bringing you today's coverage of Owasso Speedway presents the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race powered by Wheeler Trucking. First and foremost, they are currently up in the Joe Monez Memorial Broadcast booth getting ready to produce today's events. Please welcome back from Breckenridge, Michigan, one of our co-producers of the broadcast, Mr. Ted Wolfgang. Also, our second co-producer from Anacombe, Minnesota, please welcome Dave Johnston. Our two GFL Environmental Pit Road reporters. First up, he is a 16-time I-500 participant. Please welcome here on the Turn 1 Bridge from Breckenridge, Michigan, this is Isaac Wolfgang. Isaac, here it is, the 56th running of the I-500, my friend. I know you're just as excited as I am.
Absolutely. I can't even begin to describe what these drivers are thinking as they go into this start, but it's going to be incredible.
It absolutely is. Do you get just as excited as a broadcaster now as you did as a rider?
Well, I do think it's more work, but I will say the same butterflies are still there, Matt.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Isaac Wolfgang, one of our two pit reporters today. Our second pit road reporter needs no introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. The only man in I-500 history to win this event by himself. And not only did he win it by himself, he did it 4 times. No one, because of the current rule book, one single rider can run all 500 miles. So this man will forever hold the record of the only man to win the I-500 by himself, and he did it 4 times. From Anacombe, Minnesota, please welcome John Wick III. John, I've told you this many times, my friend. You're absolutely my hero. You are my friend. I love you. It is such an honor, and a blessing, and a privilege for you to be on this broadcast team. And you seem just as excited as you were when you got ready to get on the sled to go race.
Well, Matt, I feel the same way. I'm the one that's honored. I come here and everybody shows me the love, and I just love it. I got a special place in my heart for all these fans, and this place, Matt, is just legendary. I just love it.
You know, I bet if we asked these fans if they wanted you to get back on a sled one more time, I bet you do it. What do you think, fans? Should we get John Wick III back on a sled one more time? John, would you do it? Would you ever think about it?
Well, I'd do it for a lap or two, but that's probably about it.
You can't do 500 laps anymore?
No. So, anyway, right now, what are these drivers feeling, Matt? They got butterflies, like Isaac said. They're sitting on their sled, and you know what? They got what they got now. All the work is done, all the preparation from last year's race to the beginning of this year's race, and now they got to do the best with what they got.
They certainly do. And John, I know you and I are getting ready to go to work here in just a little bit as we wait for the word, for the official command. Race fans, for those of you here for the first time, we want to welcome you to the I-500 Snowmobile racetrack. How many are here for the first time ever? Well, we greeted you with a current temperature of negative 11 degrees. Welcome to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. You are in the beautiful Michigan's Upper Peninsula. This is actually not the coldest I-500 start ever. The coldest was a negative 31 degrees. You got another 20 degrees before you get to the coldest I-500 ever. In that Nice Motorsports number 4 dirt late model that will be pacing the field today, please welcome, we talked to him earlier, 2024 Snowball Derby winner, Caden Honeycutt. Race fans, are you ready for the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world? No, we gotta try this again. We have the greatest, the bravest, the coldest fans in North America. Who's ready for the I-500? I need your help. We're going to count these riders off and send them off in style with the most famous words in motorsports. At the count of 5, 4, 3. Riders, start your engines. We're ready to go 500 laps. And we'll turn things up to the Joe Menez Memorial Broadcast booth. My partner in crime, please welcome from Deborah, Ontario, Canada, Lawrence Becky Robinson.
Well, thank you, Matt, and good morning. Welcome, everyone. Are you ready to roll out there? We are going to see a heck of a race here at the biggest, best endurance race on the planet right here up at the I-500 in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. I'd like to welcome everybody. If you're on the banks here, good morning, welcome. Settle in and get ready to go here and buckle up. And if you're at home watching on FloRacing Vision, you are in for an absolute treat here as we get ready to roll. Boy, I'll tell you, what a starting field we got out there. 36 of the finest riders in the land in Canada and the United States of America ready to go. They'll start the machines and warm the engines. And we'll get a good look at that Nice Motorsports number 4, Caden Honeycutt, behind the wheel of that beautiful race car. That's pretty cool. They got the studded tires on there. Watch him pace the field here. And I'll give you, like I want to say here now, boy, Zach DeWald, that Mickey's Factory Racing team with Zach DeWald, James Hicks, and Larry Young Jr., they will ready to go from the inside of front row. Your pole sitter for the 56th running here at the Owasso Speedway, powered by Wheeler Trucking, I-500. Outside of that machine, just amazing. The father of Zach DeWald, Troy DeWald, he goes right alongside his son, the front row out there. We talk a little bit about that Felsky Farm sponsored machine, XLT Engineering, Mickey Sleds, a Snowmobile Depot, Walker Evans Racing, FXR Racing, New Graphics, Polaris, JR Tool, Woody's Traction, Bremer Utilities, DHT Trucking, USI Skis, the sponsors. Give them a wave, race fans. Let them know as they go by here. Give them a wave. There goes your starting field for the 56th running of the I-500. Talking a little bit about your pole sitter. Zach DeWald, a 23-year-old rider out of Augrey, Michigan, on board that 2023 Polaris IQR. Mickey's Factory Racing, Mickey Mare finished 5th here in 2023, 31st one in the 2024 race. And today, that race team runs in memory of longtime sponsor of many, many race teams, Mr. Paul Felsky. Paul Felsky, we lost him back in November. So heavy hearts here today. Paul Felsky, a sponsor on that Felsky Farms Polaris. Boy, great looking field here. That first row, the Cataract Collision Arctic Cat, the Mickey's Factory Polaris. Row number 2, the Bunky Racing number 74, the Nelson Racing number 18 Polaris. Starting in that third row, the Pichet Racing. Great run for that local team out of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan here. He'll start in that third row alongside Billy Ski on that number 24, that Novak Motorsport Polaris. Row number 4 inside the DL Racing Polaris, the number 29. Outside row 4, the number 41, the World Class Racing Polaris. And row 5, that is the Tommy Bauer Racing Polaris, Tyler Nichols on board, and the World Class Racing Machine, Stephen Ullman, the riders on there. That is your top 5 rows here for the I-500 as that Nice Motorsports beautiful looking dirt late model makes its run down that front straightaway. My name is Spanky Robinson. I'm honored. It's a pleasure to be on board with Matt Preer, the voice of the I-500, as we will do our best to call today's races here. Great crowd in attendance. The conditions beautiful for the start here. You heard him mention at -11 the temperature. There goes Honeycutt now as he'll get that dirt late model just cranked up a little bit here now as we prepare. Well, Matt, are you a little tired from talking and running up them stairs and that? Boy, that's tough, I know, and it's always an exciting moment. There's nothing better than this start here, my friend, at the I-500.
Well, it's a good thing you get paid by the word, huh? Along with Spanky Robinson, my name is Matt Preer, originally from Flint, Michigan, now residing in Westerville, Ohio. It is such an honor and a privilege to bring you the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world. Owasso Speedway presents the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race powered by Wheeler Trucking. My goodness, Spanky Robinson, it hasn't changed. You and I have done this for 9 years now. The goosebumps are the size of baseballs. Oh my goodness. The adrenaline is running. I need a heart pill.
I can't imagine what it's like to be out on one of them sleds just waiting to go. I'm sure, once that green flag drops, it's all business, but a lot of thoughts with those riders as they prepare the teams. All getting ready to roll here as the field will slowly roll off turn 4 down that long 2,000-foot straightaway here up in the I-500 in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
2 laps to go this time by per race control. Well, Spanky, look them over. Pick out your favorite. Who are you watching?
Boy, oh boy, you put me on the spot. I didn't, well, you know what? There are so many choices. Do I get to pick 3 or just 1?
Just one.
Just 1. Wow. That's pretty darn tough, but I got a Canadian boy in that Bunkie Racing Polaris. Aaron Christensen, the experience of the Bunkie Racing 74. I'm going to pick the 74 to go to victory lane here later on.
I was leaning towards that too. They are the 9-time and defending I-500 race winners, going for an unprecedented 10th I-500 victory. You stole my thunder. I was going for the 74. But you know what? It's time for the new dog to get on the porch. How about that number 57, Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris?
Well, it was a toss-up who to pick. I'll tell you, you're not going wrong by picking that machine. This team, just an incredible team. Todd Cricky down there, the crew chief of that group. And you know what? Zach DeWald, earlier this week here, he ran a lap of 37.802. He smashed the track record here in the Sweet 16 race earlier this week here. So his pole time, a 38, not sure the exact number, a 38-second lap here. So that is one fast snow machine. And I'll tell you, the lineup that they have on board that 57, James Hicks and Larry Young, all 3 capable riders.
Well, race fans, these sleds are gonna see the 1 lap to go signal this time. We know you're already standing up. If you're on a lawn chair, raise your beverages, raise your hats, raise what you got. This is the wave lap. The next time around, there'll be green flag racing here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Everybody's already up. Come on, race fans! Salute the riders prepared to race in the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world. This is the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race.
Wow, look at the excitement of everything down there. Everybody ready to roll here. The riders are ready. Everybody is on the banks, on the edge of their seats and standing up. And what a great field. 38 machines ready to let loose here around this 1 mile iced oval. About 18 inches of ice when the racing began this week here up in the Sault Ste. Marie. So a lot of ice on the track. And it's going to be a fan. Last year we had the weather conditions. We had not a lot of ice on the track, but we had a great race. So this one here, can it better what we seen last year? You would think so. We got some of the finest machines, endurance snowmobiles and riders in the world right here, just seconds away from that start.
Spanky Robinson, current temperature is negative 12 degrees. It has gone down 1 degree. It is officially 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The official temperature for race time for the 2025 I-500 is negative 12 degrees. The North Shore Auto and Power Sports Pace Sled will lead the field down the long 2,000-foot front stretch. Captain Brian Rader's got the green flag in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race is green.
Well, that flag drops, and right away, Troy DeWald, he'll get that cataract collision already cat out to the lead there. On the high side, Zach DeWald up to the high side. The two sleds run down that long back straight. Now Zach DeWald, he'll grab that spot back as he'll get that Mickey's Factory Sled sponsored Polaris by as they roll down into turn 3. Your leader in the 57, that is Zach DeWald.
Zach DeWald leads him on turn number 4. He's got dad Troy DeWald right behind him. You knew this is going to be fun to watch. Father and son going one-on-one. But at least for the first lap, Zach DeWald will lead lap number 1.
Zach DeWald under the bridge. Look at the dogfight for that third, fourth, and fifth position. The machines really stacked up close there. Right there, the 74, Aaron Christensen on board. Missisquoi, Alberta, the hometown of that rider on the Bunkie Racing Polaris, currently your third place machine.
And we got our first Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag of the day already. Scott Maciag is off the pace in the 26 machine. Word from race control, Scott Maciag in that 26. At Maciag Sawmill, Arctic Cat for KMW Racing is off the pace.
Not sure where that machine is located on the track, but
there he is. He's right out on the inside of turn number 4. So that'll bring out our first Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag of the morning. Now, for those of you that are new to snowmobile racing, perhaps you're a NASCAR Cup Series fan, NASCAR Xfinity Series fan, or you're watching because Nice Motorsports is here. A few things, a few items of interest. First and foremost, caution flag laps do count. Caution flag laps will absolutely count. There are no free passes. There are no lucky dogs. There are no stage breaks. It is 500 laps of racing. If a sled, Spanky Robinson, goes down a lap, they don't have the benefit of a free pass. They don't have the benefit of the lucky dog. How do they get that lap back? They have to earn their lap back.
Yeah, some strategies to get laps back. I mean, the pit stops will be very critical here today, and race strategy. Obviously, you want to get that machine out front and not go a lap down. It's a long way around to make a 1 mile oval here to make a lap back up. So that's going to be key here. But tough luck for that Maciak machine as you see that one down just off that turn 4 in tow, I believe.
2 laps completed, working on lap number 3 this time by.
What an absolute perfect day here at the I-500. Sunshine, nice and bright. It's a little cold, but everybody's all dressed for it, and everybody's ready to go here.
It's only negative 12.
The kids are having a heck of a time on the banks here, sliding down the hill, and just a great old day here up in Sault Ste. Marie.
Let's take a vote. Who's cold out there right now? Anybody? Anybody cold out there right now? It is not cold. Come on. It is 72 degrees up here in the Joe Moniz Memorial Broadcast booth. We got the sauna turned on. We got the whirlpool turned on. 104 degrees in the whirlpool up here in the Joe Moniz Memorial Broadcast booth. Boy, my fingertips were frozen when I came up here. Oh, man.
Yeah, well, you boys from the south there, we gotta get you toughened up. We got to get you up north, get you out ice fishing. That'll toughen you up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. So Scott Maciag being told off. Tough break for that Maciag team. Did you know that is the former number 7 KMW racing machine, previously piloted by Luke Krentz, who is now with the Tommy Bauer Racing Team?
I did not know that. That's great information. Luke Krentz, that's a good rider there. He jumps on that Tommy Bauer machine.
Yes, indeed.
We've seen them get the very special victory down at the Kinross Speed Park 1 week ago.
And for those tuning in on FloRacing, we can't thank you so much. We welcome you to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Pit stops for a lot of our viewers today have never seen a snowmobile race before. We're going to coach them along throughout the course of the morning and the afternoon. On pit stops, we're going to explain the terminology throughout the course of the week, of the day. But now on pit stops, not only a tire change would be, for example, would be ski changes. Fueling is the same, but what we have that's different than NASCAR, for example, short track racing, whatever the case may be, we have rider changes. Different pilots on these sleds. So on knowing you're going to see mechanical adjustments, ski adjustments, fueling, you're going to see different riders on these on these sleds throughout the course of the morning into the afternoon and evening.
And that's precisely one of the challenging things that happen here is a new rider will get on that sled, and the track conditions have changed. So we watch now as we look here now as the sleds restart. We're back underway. Green flag in the air as Zach DeWald leads the field down into that turn 1 area. DeWald around the second place machine, that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat.
Indeed, it is Zach DeWald in the number 57 machine, making his way down the long backstretch. Zach DeWald out in front. Dad Troy DeWald riding second. Minnesota, Alberta, Canada's Aaron Christensen riding third. Billy Ski is in fourth. Joey Birch rounding out the top 5. This time by 5 laps completed. 95 laps to go into the first plow break, which we'll get into here in just a little bit. But it's Zach DeWald out in front.
You can see the cooler temperatures at the start here. A little bit of snow dust in the air, so that creates a visibility issue for the riders as they're further back into the field here. Obviously, Zach DeWald, nice clear window on his helmet as he's opened up a decent lead here now as he leads that second place machine, that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat. What a machine, what a team that is. Greg Carteret and the gang down there, the number 21. Many-time champion here at the I-500.
And one big thing to watch here is that Aaron Christensen has fallen off the pace just a little bit in that 74 machine.
The DL Racing players now up into that third spot, Matt.
And for Aaron Christensen, the 74 machine, he's just fine with this. We're used to seeing Aaron Christensen in the later stages of the race where the track's not as smooth, shall we say. Christensen, one of the very best in the rough.
Absolutely. That's his specialty for sure as the machines continue to make their way around the I-500 now as they start to stretch out around this 1 mile over. Here comes your leader down the front straightaway. DeWald's got a quarter track lead over your second place machine, that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat.
What a beautiful, bright, sunny day here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. For those of you who don't know where we're at, we are in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We're about 45 minutes north of the famed Mackinac Bridge. which separates the upper and lower peninsulas. We can go out the right side of our window here, the Joe Monez Memorial Broadcast booth. If we throw a rock really hard, we'll hit Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. And we got trouble over and turned right here in front of us in turn number 1. Jake Ritchie up in the hay bales in turn number 1 brings out our second Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag of the day.
That machine's going to be okay as Ritchie back up. He's got the tether plugged back in and underway. I think what happened is he kind of bicycled it under the bridge, and he got up on one ski, and the dry rider had a dismount there, and he slowly slid into the hay bales. No damage, I would believe, on that Ritchie Arctic Cat.
And he's already back on the sled and underway for that number 79 of Jake Ritchie. They've had a heck of a week there, Spanky. The sled was not ready on Wednesday of this past week for rounds 1 and 2 of qualifying. They didn't show up on property until Thursday for the final 2 rounds of qualifying, and they were able to qualify their way into the show as they started this event.
Well, a little bit inside information on that one.
Yeah.
Jake Ritchie, boy, that's a name in racing here at the I-500. Grandpa Ted, as well as Kenny Littleton, the first Canadian team to win the I-500 here back in 1978, I believe it was. And that's just that name in racing around Sault Ste. Marie, the Ritchie name. And certainly Grandpa Ted looking down here at that Ritchie race team today.
Yeah, that 79 team originally qualifying 33rd after the 4 rounds of Parker Race Hardware Soo I-500 pole qualifying, and after the withdrawals and such, officially started 27th on the grid today.
Well, the field slowly rolls down through turn 3 and 4 here. We're under caution here. Jake Ritchie getting off the sled here in this turn 1 area, but he's back up and running, got the tether plugged back in, got it started right away. So he'll join the tail end of the field here as the pace sled will make its way down this long straightaway here, the field in tow.
They come by this time, be 9 laps completed, 91 laps to go to the first plow break of the day. And certainly appreciate Kuwait Casinos, our plow break sponsors for 2025. As see the North Shore Auto and Power Sports pace sled pulls in the infield. Green flag, we're back underway.
DeWald masters and throttle now. Here comes his father, Troy DeWald. He'll take a little look on the inside on that Arctic Cat as Zach DeWald up to the top side of the race course off turn 2. It roars down. Look at the scramble for that third spot back there. 3 sleds are 3 wide down the back straightaway. Zach DeWald, Troy DeWald in a cluster of 3 sleds. That's the DL Racing Polaris, the KPR Polaris, the number 34, and the 62 RCI Polaris. Boy, they've moved up considerably.
Boy, they're battling like it's 5 laps to go here in the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile race.
I wasn't watching Race Monitor, and out of nowhere, them sleds up to the top 5.
And that Kovar Pike Racing number 34, Danny Mackey at the controls. How about Orion Bozak up to the 4th spot? In the number 62 machine, started 14th, has advanced 10 spots.
Yes, those machines have made a big move here early at the I-500, about lap 10 here now, as the sleds head down into turn 3. Everybody spaced out down that back straightaway. Here comes your leader off turn 4, Zach DeWald on that Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris. It's a 600. Felsky Farms on the side, one of the many sponsors on the side of that number 57.
It's DeWald, Mackey, Bozak, and Birch, your top 5. That will be the 57 Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris, the 21 Cataract Collision Racing Arctic Cat, the 34 Kovar Park Racing Polaris, the 62 RCI Racing Polaris, and the 29 DL Racing Polaris. 4 Polari in the top 5. Is that the plural form of Polaris?
I think you got her nailed there, Mr. Prayer. On that number 29.
Feel free to use that anytime.
on that number 29, Joey Birch, a champion here on that Bauer Excavating Polaris. Now he jumps over, and he is behind the bars on the number 29, the DL Racing Polaris.
Boys, Zach Dewald has his father, Troy Dewald, just following in his sled tracks. That's got to be intimidating. I don't care if it is your dad. That's still got to be intimidating to have Troy Dewald right behind you.
And I'll tell you what, there's not two racers that go harder and want to beat each other than the father and son out there. But last lap for Zach Dewald, his last lap of 42.512. So a few seconds off the qualifying lap, but pretty good lap here at the I-500.
And that's not the only father and son that's going to be going at each other throughout the course of the day. Troy Dewald's teammate Ryan Spencer, also on the number 21 machine, will eventually see his son, Cam Spencer, who will be later at the controls of the number 48, K&E Racing Polaris.
Well, we're really seeing second, third generations riders here at the I-500. Just an amazing group. One big family here that these endurance riders here, as we continue to march on here at the I-500. 487 laps to go. We've put 13 in the books so far. And your leader on that Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris, number 57, that is Zach Dewald. I see the Masiak machine back out on the onto the race course, the number 26. So whatever happened early with that one, the crew went to work and got those repairs all made.
Yep, and they are currently 6 laps down. Of course, as we know, just because you go down a few laps early doesn't mean a thing. Case in point last year, the 74 Bunky Racing Polaris, after Bo Bunky stuffed his sled in the turn 1 hay bales about midway point. They were 3 laps down. They made up all 3 laps the hard way and picking up the win 1 year ago.
If you're wondering where that Bunky Racing, the number 74, Aaron Christensen, the starting rider on that one, currently 8th on the board, out there just cruising like they do as they continue to march on. Now the leader will soon come up to some lap traffic now, as Dewald already out of turn 2 down that back straightaway as he closes in on, I believe that's the Masiak number 26.
Currently at 15 laps completed, just underway with a 56 running of the International 500 Snowmobile race. My name is Matt Preer alongside Lauren Spanky Robinson. We're up high in the Joe Menez Memorial Broadcast booth. We're going to hear a little bit later on from GFL Environmental Pit Road reporters John Wick III and Isaac Wolfgang, while our co-producers Ted Wolfgang, Dave Johnston, keeping us all in line.
We just got a look at the number 8 machine. That's Derek Colbus out of Slidell, Louisiana. Boy, not a lot of snowmobiling going on out there, but... that's
a thriving snowmobile capital there in Slidell, Louisiana.
Dr. Derek Colbus, a chiropractor, I believe.
I need a back adjustment.
On board that machine. I think he's going to need a back adjustment after this. You run 500 laps up here at the I-500. You're definitely like to feel that nice soft bed.
If he could, I bet he'd give himself a back adjustment after this race.
That's a great race team. A lot of fun to get down and talk with in that race trailer with that gang. As we continue to march on, there goes Zach Dewald under the bridge. Another lap in the books. Now looks to be running real smooth up to the top side of the race course. A little smoother groove up on that top side is early in the I-500. A little bit of a bump developed down, about 20 feet out on the inside of that turn 1. So you can see a lot of the machines when they go through there, they kind of unload the suspension pretty good.
You know, yesterday we were here for the 2025 Riders registration, which went absolutely smooth. Track crew was working on the middle of turns 1 and 2. You remember on Thursday night, the Nice Motorsports number 4 dirt late model kind of dug into turns 1 and 2 a little bit. Track crew was on there working on that where he dug in.
Wow. There goes DeWald again now as he's completed another lap. We have 482 laps remaining here in the 56 running here of the Owasso Speedway powered by Wheeler Trucking I-500.
Just underway. We're working on lap number 19. Zach Dewald out in front. The number 57 Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris. And we got trouble. Tour oil and propane. Yellow flag is out for the 3rd time today. I believe over in turns 3 and 4. We have a sled stopped over in 3, it looks like.
Race.
Brings out our third Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag of the morning. And that sled may have already pulled away.
Possibly seeing one sled down in that turn 3 area here is the North Shore Sports.
There he is. Oh, Jake Ritchie again, the 79. As Ritchie's off his sled one more time.
That nice looking skidoo. There's Ritchie. Look at Ritchie on FloRacing. It looks to be.
Yeah, the sled is sitting
the
there
toe
in tier number 3. Yeah,
on the toboggan, that Arctic Cat. There's a good look at that number 79 of Jake Ritchie.
Yeah, tough break for Ritchie. It's the second Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag he's been a part of already this morning.
We'll see if we can get our pit reporters down there to maybe try to find out what has happened with that number 79, that race team out of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada.
So working on lap 20 when they cross the stripe the next time by. So very early on here in the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race, powered by Wheeler Trucking. Big thanks to Rex and Sarah Wheeler, Dennis and Deanna Wheeler, the entire management and staff there of Owasso Speedway, as well as Wheeler Trucking. Boy, just what a partnership, Spanky.
You know what? What a nice family. The group from the Owasso Speedway. We get a chance to get down there. Just if you haven't been to the Owasso Speedway, you need to head down. It's just a fantastic speedway, and Rex continues to build that speedway. Going to be the best in the USA. That's the plan. One of the best short tracks currently in Michigan.
And you need to keep going back because there's something new every time you go back.
Wow, just an amazing, the amount of concrete poured there. Beautiful facility. New grandstands going in right now as we speak.
Green flag is back out. We're back underway.
Look who got down on the inside trying to surprise and may go to the lead. Danny Mackey in that 34. He's out to the lead as he's down on the inside. He got a good run on the restart, and he'll lead that number 57, that Mickey's Factory sled, Danny Mackey now.
Well, Mackey, not only did he go by Troy Dewald, he went by Troy's son, Zach Dewald, for second, and then for first. That number 34, Kovar Pike Racing Polaris, always a strong runner in the early portions of the I-500. Now the trick is, can they maintain that momentum throughout the course of 500 laps? New leader, lap 21, it's Danny Mackey.
Yeah, Mackey on the throttle right down to the inside. He's got that low groove, the shortest way around this 1 mile here up in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and he's opened up a pretty good lead there as Mackey takes that machine down that back straightaway. Northern Michigan Land Brokers, Pure Plumbing, Freight View Assisted Living, Woody's Racing, Crate Trucking, and Forest Insurance, S&J Sports, the sponsor in that number 34, Danny Mackey out of Newberry, Michigan.
Appreciate you tuning in live on FloRacing. We especially thank you for coming to see us on property here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. And Spanky, we're experiencing a heat wave. It's now -4 degrees. We've picked up 8 degrees.
Wow, that sunshine really starting to warm up. I see everybody getting the jackets off out there, maybe enjoying the day, but what a great group we have here on the banks of the I-500. And if you're on board Flow Vision, joining the race live stream here, you have been treated to a great start here at the I-500, and it's going to be an outstanding day here at the Sioux I-500.
It's been a great week for sure, and of course we end this entire week with the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world. We're in the very early stages of 56 running, and I'll tell you what, Danny Mackey in that 34, he has checked out on the field.
Yeah, Mackey really running strong there. Boy, he absolutely schooled the field on that restart, got down to the inside, and he's got a quarter straightaway lead on that second place machine.
Check that out. I mean, that's off the 29. All right, off the DL range. Yeah, look at that.
There's a look now. That clutch flying apart, the aluminum clutch there. You got a good look at that. Some great camera work down there by Chris Reams, a familiar cameraman with FloRacing.
You don't want the clutch to look like that.
No, absolutely not. And what happens when something goes amiss in there like that? You risk the opportunity or you risk the chance of damaging the actual crankshaft in the motor. Things go out of balance, and turning up the speeds they do, you can quickly, put your motor in distress.
And that was some of the number 79 Ritchie Racing Arctic-Cat. That was the issue for Jake Ritchie and his crew. So tough break for them. Very in the early stages of the 56 running of the International 500 Snowmobile race.
Yeah, spark plug coming out of the cylinder head, I guess, is a problem. They can't keep the plug in it, and it obviously releases the engine compression in the engine.
Turn 4, a Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag is back out once again over in turn number 4. So that's going to bring out another yellow flag, slowing the pace down. And the snow dust doesn't appear to be too bad, Spanky Robinson, but you think the track conditions, not saying track conditions, but the temperature. I mean, we've been kidding about it. Yeah, it was from -12 to -4, and there you see, and that's your leader, Danny Mackey, up in turns 3 and 4, up in the hay bales.
Oh boy, it looks like the belt, some work going on there. Danny Mackey, he's quickly getting that side panel open, and he's going to work of putting that belt on that machine, but darn it, that's tough luck, as he was your leader. As Mackey, you can see him going to work right on the track there, changing that belt. These aren't exactly the easiest things to change the belt nowadays. The motors and everything way down in the chassis on the machines, and it's tough to get that clutch. You got to get the clutch open to get the belt on, and that's Danny Mackey going to work on there, frantically trying to. There's a piece of the old belt coming out. You can see right there. There's the belt that expired on that machine.
And that gives the lead to Billy Ski in the number 24 Novak Motorsports Polaris.
Well, there you go, Billy Ski. Another great rider here in the Novak Racing Polaris.
That's got to be the most perfect snowmobile racer's name ever, Billy Ski.
Absolutely. He's one of the finest guys, too. A lot of fun with Billy Ski, and he can flat out ride here. As you look on FloRacing Vision, Danny Mackey continues to try to get that belt on that machine. You got to pull out when them belts shred, Matt, all the parts of that belt will fly all over in the inside of that machine, and you want to try to make sure that you get all the pieces out of there. As Mackey, you can see him put the side cover back on, and he's going to jump on right now and get back rolling. The tether cord plugged in. No way you're pulling him. He's got it fired up, and there goes Mackey. He's got it back underway. So I'll tell you, that is some amazing work by the rider of that machine, Danny Mackey.
But unfortunately for him, he's lost 2 laps. But as we mentioned earlier, Bunky Racing coming back from 3 laps down last year to win this race. While we got a minute, big thanks to everyone tuning in on FloRacing. Head to our FloRacing store to get the latest and best FloRacing merchandise, featuring hoodies, t-shirts, hats, stickers, koozies, and more. Scan the QR code to shop now. If you want to get your hands on the coolest and latest FloRacing merchandise, scan that QR code on your screen now. If it's there. It is. And shop everything from hoodies and all the way up to koozies. Scan that QR code now for the latest in FloRacing merchandise.
You know what, Danny Mackey, he did go down 2 laps on that, but if he would have got towed back, we seen Ritchie's sled get towed back, went 6 laps down. So got that repaired pretty darn quick, only going down 2. We're under caution here. We've completed, what do we got, 27 laps in the books here.
It is a beautiful sunny day. Look at this. I mean, what we're seeing here, there's so much snow. This is such a drastic change from last year when it was so warm. This year, this is what the I-500 truly feels like. Temperatures in the negative degrees, and my goodness.
Well, we got our first pit report of the day down pit side. We got Isaac down there at the Ritchie pit. Go ahead, Isaac. What do you got for us? Well, some some technical difficulties. We'll
Mic is on.
There we go.
There we go.
Can you hear me okay? Here I am.
Go ahead, Isaac. What do you got going down there?
Thank you, Spanky. I'm here with the Ritchie Racing entry, Jake Ritchie. Can you tell me what happened out there?
We thought it was just a belt that blew, but when we got towed around and came back in, we found out when it pulled the side panel off that our secondary clutch was laying in the belly of the sled.
Okay, will you be able to repair it? Do you think you guys can keep going, or where are we at with it?
At this point, it's not looking too good. The jack shaft would have to be replaced. It's sheared off, and both the primary and secondary clutch are totaled. We haven't dug into it any farther than that. It's unfortunate, but it's just a part of it.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate early in the
Well, thank you, Isaac. That's a great information. Boy, that is devastating for Jake Ritchie and that Northern Service and Cleanup sponsored Right Time Contracting, Torque Fab, Purvis Marine, Outspoken Brewing, Slink Joker, River City Motorsports, sponsors of Ritchie's sled. The jack shaft sheared right off. The clutch fell down into the belly pan. So, yeah, going to be pretty tough to get that one fixed. His day might be done. We'll wait and see. We were told the number 16 machine back out onto the race course. They were in the pits for quite a while. That's Preston DeShano out of Auburn, Michigan.
Yeah, President DeShano, his first ever appearance here at the I-500. Longtime competitor of the IMCA Modified Division at both Tri-City Motor Speedway down in Auburn, Michigan, as well as the Merritt Speedway there in Merritt, Michigan. Longtime snowmobile enthusiast, have competed partially in the Myra Racing Series schedule of events and decided to take the big leap to the I-500 for the first time this year.
Well, a couple of rider changes, we were told. Stephen Town now on board that number 2, that Butler Excavating, the only Skidoo in the field here this year, the 2025 RS Rotax. Stephen Town now on board, as well as Luke Krentz on the Bauer Racing Polaris, the number 19 machine now. Luke Krentz on board that one. There goes one machine being towed back pit side as the field comes down the front straightaway here.
Going to go one to go this time at the line as we are working lap 29. Billy Ski out in front of the number 24 machine. And it's Zach Dewald second, the 57. Troy Dewald third, the 21. Joey Birch fourth, in the 29. How about Jordan Carlson at Precision Vehicle Logistics, number 67, now in the top 5.
So Danny Mackey, he took that machine after changing that belt. He took it in pit side. Tyler Town, he jumps on the 34. He's back out underway. Tyler Town out of Traverse City, Michigan. The number 16, we are told, DeShano back out onto the race course. So
as we take a look, there is Preston DeShano in the 16 machine as that Stevenson Racing team go to work on that number 16 entry. One of a couple of new teams this season here at the I-500 as they are thrashing on that XLT Engineering Polaris.
yeah, the crew going to work there. Looks to be some work going on in the clutch side of that machine. Very tough to get in there. You could see it take the clothes off that machine and had the front cover off as the crew. Great job by the camera work here, boy. I'll tell you, FloRacing, Flow Vision here. You are treated to some great, spectacular camera work here at the I-500.
No doubt about it. As we get prepared for...
We'd like to commend all the camera crew here at the I-500. These cameramen from all over the United States do a great job here, bringing it right to you in your home here. There's a great view again as they continue to work on that number 16 DeShano Polaris.
Come on, where's the fucking...
So look for the green flag here, Matt. As your leader, Billy Ski, on the Novak Racing Polaris. One machine darts from the inside. That looks to be Troy DeWald on that Carteret Collision Arctic Cat.
Working lap 30 as Nicolette Bank green flag rolls back out.
Billy Ski, he's got went out to the outside of the track as he leads down the back straightaway, about a 4 sled length advantage on that second place machine, Zach DeWald. As the field rolls off of turn 4 and they'll look down the front straightaway. 2,000 feet of long front straightaway here, 16 inches of glare ice. That's what it is here at the I-500.
They made their way down the long 2,000-foot front stretch. Billy Ski out in front. Battle between father-son DeWalds. The 57 is Zach DeWald on the outside. His dad, Troy DeWald, on the inside. They make their way out of turn number 2.
Fourth place machine, that's Joey Birch and a DL Racing Polaris on board there. We've seen him kind of catch some pretty good air off that one bump here that's developed about 20 feet out in this turn 1 area.
Beautiful, bright, sunny morning here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Settle in, relax, grab yourself a nice cup of dark roast coffee. I take mine black. I take mine strong, dark roast black. Don't need nothing in it.
I take mine with Bailey's in it.
There you go. I take mine with Bailey's in it. There you go. Enjoy some breakfast if you got some bacon, egg, and cheese.
Where did you get
sandwich?
that now?
Oh, you got here like at 8 o'clock.
I would have, if I would have seen that, that would have been just an empty piece of tinfoil, mister.
Oh,
now caution, yellow flies again here. You can see one machine right at this, basically at the start-finish line.
Yes, indeed. Right there, just before the start-finish line.
Is that the, tough to see from our point here.
It's the number 17 RNS Racing Machine.
Yes.
Garner Cusack off the pace.
Boy, that machine, the Nelson Speed Shop sponsored 2018 Articat 600 RSX. He's trying to fire it back up now. Cusack there is I don't know if maybe possibly an engine issue with that one.
We've already seen Spanky Robinson some rider changes already, and with our fifth a Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag of the day, you think we'll see any more? Well, thought maybe we might see some pit stops, but no one's going in as pits are open.
Well, we've ran 33 laps are in the books here so far. Usually these riders like to stay out for 50, 60 laps. We usually plow around the 100 lap mark depending on how the race conditions go.
Which reminds me, plow breaks. Here's what happens. Every 100 laps, we will have one of our Kuwaitan casinos plow breaks. If we have in a Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag 10 laps or less prior to each century mark, we'll go ahead and utilize that plow break at that time. So, for example, if we get in a Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag at lap 93, we'll go ahead and utilize and initiate that Kuwaitan Casinos plow break.
Yes, and a lot of strategy comes into play on the plow breaks. They'll bring them in, they'll fuel them up. They use the stand-up NASCAR type fueling canisters in these race machines. As a North Shore Skidoo makes its way, we thank the gang over the Ricketta boys at North Shore Sports in Sioux, Ontario for their letting us use that beautiful Skidoo pace sled.
Oh, man, isn't that beautiful? As the Nicolette Bank green flag comes right back out. Quickie yellow there, just 2 laps under caution.
Billy Ski, that inside ski will come up on that one. Zach DeWald's got a pretty good run on the outside of the track as they run down the back straightaway. Ski in that Novak Motorsports Polaris, the number 24-year leader, but he's got company on the outside, Zach DeWald, and pretty much right down the middle, Zach DeWald, the father, Troy DeWald. That is your top 3 here at the I-500.
Field makes their way out of turn number 4. Billy Ski continues to show the way. He's got the DeWald's father-son duo. And oh, by the way, here comes Orion Bozak to the inside, but DeWald slams the door going into turn number 1.
Yeah, Orion Bozak has that number 62, the RCI Richter Polaris. Throttled up now as he'll make a run on the inside, got a second position. We were told electrical issues on the number 17. That was the problem with that Garner Cusack machine. So the Nelson Speed Shop 2018 Articat in pit side with electrical problems.
Tough break for them as we've lost a few sleds already of the 36 sled starting field, including Preston DeShano in the 16 Stevenson Racing Polaris, the Ritchie Racing Articat number 79. The Macy Ag Racing Articat is back out there though he is 6 laps or 7 laps down now.
You watch Billy Ski there. The back end kind of stepped out on him right there in turn 2, but he quickly gathered it back up and makes his way down the back straightaway. That Novak Motorsports Polaris really running strong here early at the I-500.
We hear action down at pit road. Is that whether it's John Waite III or is that Isaac Wolfgang? What you got down there, guys?
Thanks, Matt.
Well, you're welcome. No.
Yeah, coming down the back straight.
Oh, we're working on the audio issue there. It comes back and forth here a little bit. We'll work on that. And we'll get back to Isaac down there, one of our 2 GFL environmental pit road reporters. We'll get him all situated down there. And we should point out, yeah, the temperature has gone up, but it's still -4 degrees here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Yeah, and visibility a little bit of an issue. You can see as on those restarts, you're back 10 back. You're getting a pretty good dusting of snow on your visor here.
Well, not only that, it affects equipment too. You know, I mean, I was having an equipment issue. I mean, when I was down there for pre-race ceremonies, it was -12. So equipment doesn't work like it normally should when it's that cold outside. So we'll get Isaac all straightened out. We'll get that microphone warmed up, and we'll get him back out there soon.
Test 1, 2.
There he is.
Test 1, 2.
Go ahead, Isaac. What do you got going down there?
Guys, I'm done.
Well, more problems down there. We'll get that worked out.
Yeah, coming
for
down
you.
the back straightaway here, probably halfway down or so. The RPM spiked and went into neutral on us, so we blew a belt. I was running good RPM, sled's pulling good, handling well. Kind of a big bummer for us. I was able to get changed. We still went a lap down, brought it in. I couldn't get the side panel on, right? So we got the side panel on, filled up with gas while we're in, and now we got Tyler on it now. See if we can get that lap back.
Well, definitely a bummer this early in the race. You just took the lead to have an accident or a situation, not really an accident like that, but we're hoping the best for you and get back out there. It's a long day.
Thank you.
You bet.
Well, that's Danny Mackey, race fans, the Newberry, Michigan rider on that 2022 Polaris 600 problem, a belt expiring on that one. So that machine back out running now. Tyler Nichols on board, or I should say Tyler Town on board, that number 34 at a Traverse City, Michigan, 28-year-old rider. Billy Ski continues to run in the lead here. We've completed 40 laps in the books, and that Novak Racing Polaris, the number 40, out front here.
Still a long way to go as we continue to press forward. 40 laps completed, 60 laps to go to the first Kuwait Casinos plow break. Troy DeWald riding second. Aaron Christensen has fought his way back to third. Zach DeWald has slipped back to fourth with Jordan Carlson rounding out the top 5.
Your leader, Billy Ski out of Maple City, Michigan on the Advanced Insulation System, Team 1 Credit Union, Amsoil, Synthetic Lubricants, Loctite, Campso, Cedar Tavern, the sponsors. 2017 Polaris IQR 600. Ron Novak, the crew chief on that Novak Motorsports machine.
41 laps completed, 59 laps to go to the first Kuwait Casinos plow break. Glad you're tuning in live on FloRacing's live and exclusive broadcast of Owasso Speedway presents the 56th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race powered by Wheeler Trucking. We're so thankful for you to spend your first day of the month of February and your Saturday morning with us here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Heat waves coming, Spanky Robinson. It's -2 degrees.
Wow, now as you see Billy Ski start to sort his way through some lap traffic. Now down the back straightaway. Ski on that number 24, your leader. Great job, great. Made the pass on the restart. He's teamed up today. Dakota Harris, the Morley, Michigan rider, will be the teammate of Billy Ski's. Hello to that Harris Racing gang.
So we continue moving forward very early in the going. For those of you who have never watched the I-500 race before, it is not a short race. The average length of this event can range, the fastest race was 7 hours and 21 minutes. So you're in for at least 7 hours and 20 minutes of your time on a Saturday morning into the afternoon. The longest race was the first one, over 13 hours back in 1969. So this is not a short race. It is the definition of an endurance race. 7 hours, 36 minutes in 1995 was the shortest race in history. That, Spanky Robinson, that was 30 years ago, the shortest race ever. 7 hours, 36 minutes.
Wow. You know, you look back how the race machines have changed so much. We see 2 out of the 3 riders, original winners of the 1969, the Clothes Boys are here. You know, they ran that Skidoo old puffers down on display here in the Joe Menez broadcast booth here. And to what these machines are now, a lot of them running fuel-injected machines here that adjust. You know, usually it was changing jetting and everything to adjust on the carbureted machines, but great advancement in the snow machine field here. These are very expensive race machines out on the course.
Oh, no doubt about it. This is, for those, again, we know we have a lot of viewers that are tuning in to the I-500 for the very first time. Don't know the first thing about snowmobile racing. This is, if you're a NASCAR fan, this is the equivalent of the Daytona 500 for the NASCAR Cup Series. This is the equivalent of the Indianapolis 500 for the NTT IndyCar Series. This is the most grueling and prestigious snowmobile race in the world. We are only 46 minutes into this race, and as we just mentioned, the fastest I-500 in history lasted 7 hours and 36 minutes back in 1995. You're in for a long day.
You start to see some machines now running over the berm in this turn 1 and 2 and making their way up to the top racing groove here at the I-500. Has some pretty good bumps already starting to develop in that, particularly in that turn 1 area, about 20 feet out. A pretty good sized mogul right there.
But overall, the track conditions are absolutely flawless, right? I mean, I wouldn't say flawless. They are tip-top shape right now. This is great.
You know, we commend the track building crew. A lot of hours, a lot of gallons of water. But when you want to put 16, 18 inches of ice on a 1 mile race course, boy, you're putting down a lot of water. And we commend that crew, everybody involved building this great race course here at the I-500.
Working on lap 47, going to be lap 48 here in just a little bit.
We'll run them down for you. We get 50 in the books, and we'll give you a rundown of the standings here as we are just a couple laps away from 50 in the books here. Billy Ski continues to lead in that Novak Racing Polaris. One machine off the pace down on the inside now as they'll make the turn down that pit road. These sleds, I am told by Ted Wolfgang up here, about 2.5 miles to a gallon is what these sleds get here.
As Aaron Christensen, we were watching that, Aaron Christensen just went round the outside of Billy Ski for the race lead. How about Christensen? Little early for the Bunky Racing team to start making their way to the front.
You know what? Some bumps starting to show on the track a little bit, and that's Christensen. That's right his alley that he can really fly on that.
Look at Billy Ski trying to fight his way back, but he's got Jordan Carlson right there. Aaron Christensen takes the lead officially on lap 48 as we work lap 49.
Look where Christensen runs it up through that turn 1-2 area. He's right up the top next to the hay bales. Real smooth line up there, so I think you'll see Billy Ski get schooled on that, and he'll follow Aaron Christensen, your leader. Ski now in that Novak Polaris now push back to second.
Working on lap 49. The next lap by would be lap 50. as we will be halfway through the first segment before our plow break. Our first plow break.
Well, we could completed 50 in the books. I'll give you your rundown here now. Currently, 50 laps complete. Your leader here at the Owasso Speedway, powered by Wheeler Trucking I-500, the 74 Bunkie Racing Polaris, number 1. In second spot now, the Hoos Racing number 67 Polaris in the second spot. Third spot, the number 24 Novak Racing Polaris. Fourth spot, Mickey's Factory Sled Polaris, the number 57. In fifth spot, the Cataract Collision Arctic Cat, the number 21. Sixth spot, the 99, that Bouchard Racing Arctic Cat. Seventh spot, the number 32, HC Racing Arctic Cat. Eighth spot, the 02 Jay's Power Sport sponsored machine. Ninth spot, the number 18 Nelson Racing Polaris. Rounding out the top 10, the DL Racing Polaris, the number 29. 11th spot, Nelson Racing, number 28, that Polaris. In 12th spot, the number 62 RCI Polaris. 13th spot, Piché Racing Polaris, that team out of Sioux, Michigan. And 14th on the board, Hattin Heritage Polaris, the number 54. 15th, the 41 World Class Racing Polaris. 16th, the WV Racing Polaris, the number 44. 17th spot, the number 4 MLM Polaris. 18th spot, the number 10 Let's Go Racing Polaris. 19th, the number 32 Big State Polaris. And rounding out the top 20, Ben Lungus on his Arctic Cat, the number 23. That is your top 20 here. We've completed 52 laps here at the I-500. Machines continue now to be stretched out around this 1 mile oval here. Just a great day here. Everybody on the banks enjoying themselves here. Up here in the Sioux at the I-500. As well, if you're on the Flow stream, you have been treated to some great racing so far. As we continue now to get a look now of the machines as they come off that turn 3 area. Aaron Christensen on board that Bunkie Racing Polaris, that number 74. Gabe Bunkie, the crew chief, on that number 74, a familiar rider up here. 9 wins here up at the I-500. Boy, a lot of seconds, thirds, just fantastic finishes up here for that Bunkie Racing Team 74. 8
of those wins with Gabe Bunkie. The first Bunkie Racing win without Gabe Bunkie, well, that occurred last year with Aaron Christensen and his sons, Taylor Bunkie and Bo Bunkie.
Yes, yes. Wow, one machine right sideways. That is the Zach DeWald as he went to go around. I believe the number 2 machine there. He had that pitch pretty sideways as the Town brothers Skidoo and DeWald in some close quarters there off turn 2.
Field now making her way around. Christensen, your race leader. We expect to see Taylor Bunkie jump on the sled the first opportunity, the next round of pit stops. Although it wouldn't surprise you to really see Bo Bunkie jump on a little early.
Yeah, I imagine we are told that possibly some debris on the racetrack here.
The field continues to navigate around this legendary 1 mile high bank ice oval. We can call it high banks. If you saw the Facebook Live features earlier this week, as John Babcock pointed out, we were standing in the middle of 1-2 at the entrance to pit road. The top of my head, I'm 5'11". The top of my head would have reached probably the middle of the racetrack.
Oh yeah,
that's some high banks, my friend.
Yeah, this is like a lot of bank racetracks. They don't appear to be that bank, but when you get down there, I'll tell you, there's a real good banking here at the I-500. Sleds, there's Billy Ski now. He'll take that high line up, way up in the entry of turn 1 there, and he'll dart it back down and head down the outside of that back straightaway. Your leader, Aaron Christensen, on board that Bunky Racing Polaris, followed by the Hoos Racing number 67. Big win in Eagle River at the event down in Eagle River for that Hoos Racing Polaris. So they're currently second. Rounding out in third was the number 57, DeWald Racing.
Still working on the first plow break upcoming with a new leader, as we saw. Hoos Racing. Look, Jordan Carlson out in front.
Wow, Jordan Carlson, he's motored around Aaron Christensen now, and he has that number 67 out to the front.
Jordan Carlson taking the lead away from Aaron Christensen. You don't see that very often, someone passes a Bunky Racing sled.
Well, you can tell, that Bunky Racing sled got off to a decent start and then kind of dropped back a little bit, and then Christensen drove it to the front. So just looking, wow, you could see the snow dust there, right there, as the Hoos Racing machine just pitched a bucket full of snow onto the visor of Aaron Christensen here as they crossed out of turn 1. Making their way now down into turn 3. The battle's on for the lead there. Bunky Hill run up to the top of the track. I believe Bunky's got back around. We'll have to wait and see when they come off and down the front straightaway. We'll wait and see. Does the 74 go back out into the lead here?
Carlson officially took the lead on lap 57, and he'll maintain for now, but not anymore. Bunky, the Bunky Racing Polaris, now back out in front as they make their way.
Well, they were back out for a second,
Yes,
but I believe Carlson's gone back around.
Yeah, Christensen went way high
in turn 1, so they're playing back and forth, running different lines on the race course. The challenge when these machines when they do make a pit stop, the new rider onto the sled will come out here, and the track has changed a lot from the start of the race. It's their first opportunity. The second riders will get on the machine, and you gotta take it pretty cautious here for the first when you make the driver's changes, when you first get on that sled, to learn the proper where all the bumps are in this racetrack. At Hoos Racing number 67, some of the sponsors on there: Precision Vehicle Logistics, Nice Motorsports, Woody's, Morgan Electric, Michigan Agri-System, Troy Farms, Rachel Salon, 2024 Polaris IQR AXYS.
Have a report for you. We're getting warmer. Time to break out the T-shirts. It's -1 degree.
Yeah, it's warming up for sure. I don't see anybody taking off their jackets just yet. But
are we going to get into the positives today? I think we're going to. I think before, in the next 10 minutes, we're going to get to 0 or above. We're going to be out of the negative temperatures.
It's pretty special, Matt. I just look over here. 3 generations of Wolfgangs here.
Isn't that cool?
We got Ted Wolfgang, Isaac, our pit reporter, and young Levi sitting right here waiting, trying to get my job, I think. So
yeah,
I don't know.
He said yesterday he wants to be an announcer.
Well,
he said when we're old and retired, he's going to take over for us.
I'm not going to let him near my headset here because I think he can do it. He's capable. I've been chatting with him, and he can sure tell you all about his hunting and fishing. He won't tell me the secret fishing holes, but
there's Jordan Carlson, the number 67 Precision Vehicle Logistics, Nice Motorsports Polaris. What a great partnership with Nice Motorsports. Al Nice, owner of 2 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series teams for Bailey Curry, and of course, 2024 Snowball Derby winner Caden Honeycutt. You watch Caden Honeycutt win the Snowball Derby right here on FloRacing.
Absolutely. And again, if he's listening, I'm sure he is there. Congratulations for that. And we're going to get him up here possibly later on and get him to tell us all about running that dirt late model out here in the ice. I noticed he punched the throttle a couple times. He got it a little bit sideways.
Originally when this deal was getting put together, we were trying to work on getting 2024 NASCAR Cup Series Rookie of the Year Carson Hocevar to come up. He was originally, his NASCAR career started in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series with Nice Motorsports, but unfortunately, however you want to look at it, host of our racing today and tomorrow at the Cookout Clash down at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Wow, I just watched the Zach DeWald make the move. He got around that bunky Polaris up here in that turn 2 area. So he'll get that Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris up into that second spot. Your leader, the Hoos Racing, number 67 here. We have completed 64 laps here at the I-500.
Indeed, we have, as it is Jordan Carlson. There he is out in front, that Precision Vehicle Logistics number 67 for Hoos Racing. Big winners 2 weekends ago at Eagle River, Wisconsin, the World Championship Derby Complex, the Myra Series portion of the World Championship Snowmobile Derby. Big win for Hoos Racing.
Yeah, absolutely. They're coming in here on a hot streak. We have a caution.
As we got our sixth Tour Oil and Propane yellow flag of the day. Believe it's over in turns 3 and 4. We'll double check to make sure.
A sled down on the inside, possibly. We'll woe them down. We're under caution now. Now the strategy will come in play here. Some of these machines come in. We like to plow the track depending, usually around the 100, 125 lap area, but do teams come in and take some fuel and put another rider on? We'll wait and see.
I say you're probably going to see some pit stops here before too long.
I would think so too myself.
And we're still potentially 35 laps away from our first Kuwait Casinos plow break of the morning.
Yep. So I would